3, 2, 1. Where's that screen? Here we go. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have a couple of guests on the show, and then we're going to be celebrating our 600th episode with some diehards up in the chat. So we're looking forward to that. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. Since we'll be celebrating that 600th episode, let's play this one.
And you are watching Catch the Craze.
And you're listening to Catch Da Craze.
And you are watching Catch the Craze.
You're watching Catch the Craze.
Catch the Craze.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, Joe, we did it again. Come on, man. What you want to do? Catch the Craze. We're back. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze, and this one is extra special because it is our 600th episode. 600.
Oh, you crazy.
600th episode. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. It is Tuesday, September 16th, 8 p.m. here in the East Coast, and we are live. Sam, I know that you've been having technical difficulties up in the crib, but if you are watching us, thank you for joining us. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, share it, like, comment. We have some people in the, back in the green room that we're going to bring in later on tonight, but we also have a couple of guests that we will have, and we will talk about their projects, shine some light on their stuff like we always do, and then we're going to do the celebrating. That's right, Spooky T. There he is, Michael. Everybody, 600. Ay, caramba. Thank you guys for joining. What up, Sam?
It took 600 episodes for me to get some peguelos, bro. Look at the glasses. Look at the glasses. It's over.
Gotta do what you gotta do, dog.
It's over, bro. I'm like this, huh? I'm like Anibal now. I'm like this.
I'm like, what's going on over there? What's happening in there?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, 600, dog. So listen, so you've had some stuff going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, man. All right, the life of the indie. Yeah, it's a real doozy. So yeah, College Station Comic Con. I did it 2 years before, killed it both years. Boom. Looking forward to it. I get there this year. Great location, the whole bit. I'm excited. I'm thinking it's gonna be legit, dude. 50% attendee drop off, bro. I don't know where George went. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking to myself. He can't even, look at this, not even 2 seconds, bro. He has to go to the bathroom, bro. I told you about that. I said, go to the bathroom before we start the show. I can't go anywhere with him. Let's wait. Where'd he go? I think he got mugged.
No. I'm here. I'm listening.
So the attendees were significantly less. It was like a dance floor. You can tell the mood in the air was different. There were no crowds. It seemed like a local small. It didn't seem like the same show I've been to the past 2 years. And not only that, but your neighbors make a difference, bro. My neighbor was a vendor who had this 15-foot, 20-foot damn banner that blocked my entire booth, and it cast a shadow over me, so the lighting was bad in my area, and you couldn't even see me until you walked all the way past his thing. I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
so but it didn't matter because we didn't have the crowd. And shout out to all the returns, because I had a bunch of people that came from the years before come back for the follow-ups. So shout out to all of those and all the new people. But no, I took a loss on that one. I took a huge loss on this show. It was definitely not the same show. I try to be positive the whole time, but then try to go live with Lupins and do a live stream, and that was horrible. The technical issues from the hotel was just horrible. I couldn't hear her on my laptop. I'm using my phone, and I'm getting delays, and we just sound like we're talking from Mars and Earth. So that was an issue. And then I get home, and getting ready for this 600 episode, and my iMac doesn't work.
Damn.
It's frozen, completely frozen. I don't see any of my icons. I don't see anything. And I'm like, yo. So I'm working off my laptop. What's up, JD in the house?
JD.
Yeah. So talking to the vendors and talking to the attendees, they said that there's new management for College Station. Some of these people didn't even know that they were doing this show this weekend. I was at Mars, just forgot to mention. So new owners. So that changed everything. And then they were competing with, Texas AMU with playing a game. So all the bars were doing game viewing. And so the bars were all packed. And then you also had the Pacquiao, not the Pacquiao, the what's his name fight?
Canelo
fight.
Canelo
So
Crawford,
all the bars were packed. So nobody was coming. So it was just a bad weekend for that. But, on the positive, I met this a mom and her son. He was just so pure of heart. I mean, the kid was just like, and he whispered and he was like so fascinated by Duty, and he was like, do you think? And he repeated, do you think Duty could be One Punch? And I was like, and the mom's like, he's so busy, he's not gonna be able to do it. So I went back to the hotel. I drew it. He came back the next day because he wanted the other books. He got one issue, and then he went and got his mom wanted the others. And so I showed them on the iPad. I said, look, I did it just for you. You inspired me. But it reminded me of why I do this. And, just the way he was, like, his eyes lit up, and the pureness and the imagination and the curiosity. Didn't matter if I took an L that weekend. That kid just made me just like appreciate why I do this and the opportunity that I get to connect with and hopefully inspire him to do the same thing. So that drive back home wasn't as painful as I thought it would be because I was just inspired. And when you're in it and you're like, damn, this sucks, right? And you're like, man, why am I doing this? And then you meet someone like this young man, and then you're like, reset. I'm back in the game. That's all I needed.
Yeah, no, man, that does suck though. I mean, the first part of that. Oh, yeah. 650th episode. I don't know if that's gonna happen, Jay. I don't know if you guys are gonna ever play this infamous handball game.
You know what he's doing? He's doing what Mayweather did with Pacquiao. Mayweather waited. He waited and waited. He didn't want to take me in my prime because he knew that his ankles wouldn't cut it on the handball court. So he knew that he'd be falling all over the place. He couldn't hang with the crazy man. So he's waiting until I'm in a wheelchair. He's like, all right, let's play now, sucker.
Damn Barlow in the house. What up, D? Yeah, no, man. Going back to the convention, it sucks, dude. When you get geared up to go to these shows, they've been really good in the past, and then you get there and it's trash. Trash. Now, how do you feel about people building things that high next to you? Do you think there should be some kind of rule?
There should be
shows or something.
I think there should be some sort of. I mean, and I bring it back to the event I did, Bell County. I had neighbors next to me, right? And they were building a wall, right? But it's probably about the same height as mine, but they were building a wall blocking, it would block that side of my table. They came over to me and they're like, hey, you can put anything you want on this wall to promote your stuff. I know that we're blocking. They were very respectful. This guy, he wasn't there Friday. He set up Saturday morning. So he wasn't there, so I would have been like, "Yo, dude, can you at least shift it?" It was already too late. I got there, it was already built. I was like, "This bunch." I couldn't even. I was like, hey, "Wait, where's my booth?" I can't find me. Yeah. So, but and he was having, because he was selling anime stuff. So anybody that came was like the characters that he had for anime. He had like anime custom carpets and like really tchotchke stuff. People were eating
carpets.
up.
What?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hell,
anime
dude?
custom printed carpets.
Jesus, no wonder nobody could see your ass.
They couldn't. No, it was big giant carpets that were blocking
Yeah,
the. Yeah,
well, there was no way.
it was like Aladdin was in the house. It was crazy.
JD said you did not take an L, Sam. You refilled the emotional well.
Is that what it is?
Lou says they need liability and spooky T2I. I thought there were rules to that height limits already. I thought there were too, but I think it's not. Are there rules to the
Well,
to the
there
height?
are rules on the bigger shows.
on the
The
banners, I
smaller
guess?
venues, like this show brings in like a few thousand people, like maybe like 8 to 10,000 people. This year it probably brought in like 1,800. I don't know. It was not that significant. And I mean, and that how they have that back wall where they have all the celebrities and they have like the voice actors, all that stuff. It's like 20 different tables, right? For these guys. There was only about 7 of them. All of them were empty. So there was it was definitely it was just a bad year, but hey, you gotta, that's what comes with the territory. No 2 shows are ever the same, and it's a risk no matter what.
Yep. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Speaking of shows that I'm gonna take, not a risk, because I've been to the. So here's the thing: I've been to the Yonkers Comic Con. I was there last year. This is their 3rd year, right? So last year, fabulous, fantastic. I loved it. Let's see how it goes this year. But it looks they're promoting it. They're doing a good job promoting it here locally. It's going to be at the Yonkers Library on September 27th. So if you guys are in Yonkers in Westchester here in New York, definitely come check it out. Come to the library over by the Hudson River, and check us out. What else I got going on? Oh, October 7th, right behind me at 8 p.m. here on Catch the Craze. We are launching the Shameless Plug Kickstarter. So join us. Oh, look at that. There it is. And the week after that, bam, Forbidden, bro.
Forbidden, yeah, man.
Yeah, so definitely check those 2 launches out back to back, 2 weeks in a row. We're going to be launching our stuff. For anybody who pledges to both campaigns, I do have a print that I will not show until that evening.
Oh,
that Sam worked on. So check that out. That's going to be dope. And then I'm looking forward to just, the end of the month, October. I have the New York Comic Con coming up, and I have a book signing for The Adventures of Wonder Duck that will be hitting stores. So I'll be at a comic book shop October 15th, Long Island Comic Shop. Come join us there. I'll be there all day. It's on Wednesday, the 15th. I'll be there. And on the 8th, actually, I will be with Mark Torres. He does his show. It came from the radio from another library out in Long Island. So I will be doing my thing, man. I'll be doing a tour. So definitely check me out. I'll have all that stuff on my website so you guys can check it out.
Yeah, and in 2 weeks I'll be at Denton Comic Art Expo. It's my 3rd appearance there. The same guys that run it, and also the publisher that actually published Herman's story on Free Comic Book Day. So that's pretty dope. So I'm looking forward to that. And we're up to 53 who signed up for the Forbidden launch. If you sign up, if you haven't signed up already, if you sign up, hit me up, DM me, and I will send you a free digital download of issue number 0 of Forbidden, so you can get a preview of what's in this 200-page graphic novel. So sign up today, DM me, and I'll send you the link to download the PDF. So we're at 53. So if you sign up today, I know that you're 54. So let's make it happen. But we do have some special guests in the waiting room, in the green room. So without further ado, let's bring in our first guest. That's Joe Solis and Jesse from Teen Strike. What's up, guys? And why does this look like this?
Sam?
Howdy.
Oh, finally made it onto your show. It only took a couple of years of us going back and forth.
Yeah.
How are you, man? I'm gonna see you in Denton too. I have a booth up there too, so I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Oh, fantastic!
But dude, the biggest surprise for me tonight, dude, I've been chasing George Medina online trying to friend him because I love the idea of the shameless plug.
Oh,
and I sent you a friend request as soon as I saw it because ask Sam, I will share your stuff.
Man, I had no idea you sent that over, man.
It's okay. A lot of people have been telling me that lately.
Dude,
Facebook notifications suck nowadays, man. For real, it's like
seriously,
you can't. What's that group? Crowdfund Your Comics, I think it's called. Every Monday, the admin says, post your Kickstarter or somebody else's Kickstarter. Well, one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post everybody's Kickstarter that I'm following. And so on that thread, I started doing that, every Monday, and then, a couple of Mondays. And so just like this last time I did it, I swear nobody got the notification that I did it. And I'm talking like a good 15, 20 Kickstarters, and nobody got the notification. That's how bad Facebook has gotten.
No, it has, dude. I didn't even see it. I just replied to him, and childsplaycomics.com. That's awesome. So you obviously Sam. How did you guys meet? Like what how do you guys meet?
Central Booking.
Oh, okay. Did some time together. All right.
But yeah, man, when did we meet? I do know the first time that I did anything concerning your book was when a couple of years back I used to do Kickstarter spotlights on my book, where I would kind of do like little animated reviews basically, and just kind of shout outs. And I had picked up a Duty issue 1 and 2, and then done a video for it, because I think you had just released issue 3 on Kickstarter. And then after that, just life got in the way, and I was actually looking through them again. I was like, Duty was the last video I did in that style, because I just couldn't get to them anymore. They were fun to make, but they were time consuming.
Yeah.
But
did we meet at Texas Latino? Did you do that?
No. Jesse did that one.
Okay. Did we meet at like a book signing at a comic shop at a mall?
No, we met. Let's see.
To figure out.
I've seen you several times. We met at Denton last year. We met at Bell County Comic Con. We met.
Yes.
So I don't know. I've seen you.
It must have been
shows.
Yeah.
But Jesse just did Texas Latino Comic Con this past summer.
Oh, okay.
So he's a workaholic, as you can clearly see. He's working while we're talking, so he's going to be working on stuff while we're talking.
Awesome.
Someone's got to make these comics, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So Joe, I don't know much about what you guys are doing. So for those watching, and even for myself, let's talk a little bit about you, and then Jesse, I'm intrigued by your setup there. But Joe, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are. Child Play Comics. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Jesse and I have been friends since college, so a good like almost 30 years at this point. He's always been in the video game industry, and I've always we have a mutual friend named Roy, who's also an artist, and we all met in college. Them two went to high school together. And over the years, while he was making video games, me and Roy were going back and forth about, making comics and this, that, and the other. And then finally during the pandemic, we gave it a try. And then I guess Jesse got bit by the comic bug, and he wanted to try too. So my wife and I we live here in New Braunfels, Texas. Before the pandemic, we used to own a comic and game shop for a couple of years. Thankfully, we sold it way before COVID, but we kept the name, we kept our mascot, and so the name of the store was Child's Play Games and Geekery, and so our comic company is just simply Child's Play Comics, because my wife's last name is Child, so it's a play on her last name.
Cool.
Nice.
And so we, her and I, our focus is either all ages or teen titles, and then Jesse has his own company separate from his day job called Dinosaur, which has subdivisions. So Dinosaur Games is the division that makes video games, and then he created Dinosaur Comics when he started doing his book Teen Strike, which is the one I've been helping him with, and that's the one we're going to be talking mainly tonight, because he's going to be launching it in October, because we just finished under Child's Play, we just finished our last Kickstarter last month. I'm actually in the middle of fulfilling it. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's who we both are, and always been helping each other out, and it's been cool to be able to do this kind of a thing with one of your best friends, or two of my best friends in this case, and my wife, who's also my best friend. So it's just a big family.
That's awesome.
A big family event. And piggybacking on Sam's comment about disappointing Comic Cons, Jesse and I just experienced that at Arlington Comic Fest. We had pretty much the exact same thing you described. And we had the extra punch in the face of the weather. We had like nasty storms up there when we were there, and so that didn't help. It was already seemed like it was a smaller con, but yeah, it's kind of like Sam was saying, you just try to find the positive. Jesse's always like, well, at least I get to hang out with you, and we get to hang out together. We visited with friends. I mean, we still, of course, sold some books and definitely had some experiences like you and that young boy. People come up and ask, especially like with me and my wife's stuff, it's kid related, so they usually have a lot of questions, and they're like, well, how do you do this? And we love to kind of show them the the behind the scenes stuff, and they're super fascinated, and yeah, they're all full of wonder still and questions. And so yeah, we still came out of that just saying, yeah, we're probably not going to go back to that con, but it's
Yeah, I wish
fun.
you would. I did an episode on that because it was last year and the year before with DED, and there was like nobody. Everyone was just standing on the side talking to each other, standing by the food trucks talking to each other. It just wasn't a good show, and I did it the first year, and then I did it again once, and I was like, "That's it. I've had enough." It's not just a one time off. It was 2 years in a row. I was like, "All right, it's time to go."
Yeah. 2 years is too much for a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jesse, what's the program you're using there for the for what you're doing to the artwork that you're working on?
I'm on Clip Studio right now.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the one you use, right, Sam?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Nah, it's cool, man. So we're talking about Teen Strike. So Jesse, what's Teen Strike? What is that about?
So Teen Strike is a coming of age story about a bunch of kids in South Texas growing up in high school. Just kind of like them going through life, but with a twist of superheroes. Right? It's about first love. It's about friendship. It's about social anxiety. What it means to have like really awesome friends and trying to keep them all together when you have all this stuff, all these new things like coming at you from all kinds of different directions. So basically, the whole story was something that we wrote back in high school. Way back in the 90s. We were always getting picked on because we like comic books, we like cartoons, we like all that stuff, and that stuff just wasn't popular yet. It was before Pokemon. Pokemon's really like the first thing that really started normalizing that type of nerd culture, right, into the whole thing. And so our friend Roy, what he started doing was, in order to deal and cope with all that stuff, he started drawing himself and then us later as superheroes beating up the bullies. And so it kind of just started with that, and eventually, before we knew it, we had a story. And so it was just something that all my friends and I we would just kind of write, and eventually it just kind of became a hobby. Whenever we get together, like even after graduation and stuff, we'd sit down, we'd just start drawing Teen Strike and all that stuff. Kind of forming a more cohesive story in our head as the years went on. And unfortunately, we had one of our friends that passed away, who would help us write that stuff. And that's right around maybe 1 or 2 years. Actually, it was like 1 year later, maybe 2 years later. That's when Joe and Roy did their first story. And they sent me the book, and I was still really trying to deal with the death of our friend Jerry. And I hadn't really properly processed it, and I kind of sat there and I just looked at the book, and I'm like, oh well, now I know what I need to do is I need to finish what we started back then. And so that's kind of what lit the fire under my butt, unfortunately, right? Like sometimes it takes those type of things. And unfortunately, he'll never really be able to see some of the stuff that he wrote that I'm incorporating into a story. But I'm trying my best to kind of I guess kind of like tell people who read the book, like, hey, I had really great friends, this is who they are. Because I had to talk about legacy, right, and what that means after we're gone. Some people it's leaving inheritance, other people it's like for me it's the video games that I work on, that kind of stuff will outlive me. And some of us are real humble, and after we're gone, no one's really going to forget or remember my friend Jerry or our friend Jerry. He never really lived a life that was like going out and doing all these things. So I think this is a good way of just kind of like, one, dealing with the loss of one of our best friends, but also just another way of telling people like, look, we had amazing friends, check them out. Hopefully they can find some friendship in these stories, right? And so Teen Strike's a very complicated, very personal story of mine. um I'm going to finish it. I'm going through this is now something I've decided that I'm going to do. So um yeah, I'm just a little bit all over the places. I'm like in the middle of like multitasking, doing all these things. But
Yeah, no, for sure, man. No, I was looking at on Kickstarter. So this is for, so you're launching issues 5 and 6, right? You have a pre-launch
yeah,
date for 5
uh,
and 6.
yeah, I kind of shifted over to chapters. So now I think I made a mistake with 3 and 4, and
Hmm.
I offered both issues 3 and 4. So two
Okay.
separate issues, two floppies. But the problem that I saw when I was looking at the user statistics is that everyone was just kind of ordering the first couple. They weren't willing to like scroll all the way down and see all the options. And so I was just like, this is pointless. So just combining them all from here on out to make double issues. So yeah, chapters 5 and 6 are going up hopefully in mid-October. That's what we're shooting for.
That's awesome. So when you say you combine them, you mean it's one book with 2 chapters in that
Yeah.
one book. So it's a
Yes.
48 pager. Is that what you're looking at?
60 pagers.
Oh wow, that's nice. All right.
Yeah. No, yeah, like you were well, I wasn't watching who was talking, but one of you guys is about to do like a 200 pager or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after I get 7 and 8 done, I'm combining all that together to it's the first story arc. Complete story arc. You could just read that and be done with it, or you can
Okay.
continue to the second story arc, but that's gonna be I think just under 300 pages.
Mm.
It's gonna be quite a big boy, you know.
Yeah, that is a big boy, man. So for those who maybe just joined us or watching, the link to the Kickstarter to follow it is in the chat.
Yeah.
It's Teen Strike issues number 5 and 6, which, like Jesse just explained, it's one book, 2 chapters in one book, about 60 pages of that bad boy. Now you are going to have the other chapters obviously available as catch-up tiers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like you normally would. Yeah, no,
You do some
that's
discounts.
yeah, cool. That's so now, Joe, you're helping write the story. Is that how you're involved in the process, or what's?
Yeah. So what he was talking about is that like early on when they had all these stories
Mhm.
that were written in high school, and I met him in college. Our friend Roy was showing them to me, and it's funny because from my point of view, I was seeing a lot of these real life people as characters first, like
Mhm.
Jerry, for example.
Yeah,
You know, he was a character, and then it was like I got to meet him in person, and it's like, from my point of view, it's like meeting a celebrity because it's like, hey, I've seen you so many times, but I've never seen you in real life, you know. And that's kind of the way this book was. And Roy actually he was showing me all the different ideas, and he was like, you know, can you make this make sense, basically. And so I kind of worked on it and tried to work like it into a bigger narrative, and I'll never forget typing it all out. And I wasn't as good of friends with Jesse yet. I was just getting to know him at that time. I knew Roy more because we were roommates in college.
right.
But I remember handing Jesse that outline I gave him, and he's sitting there on the floor of his apartment just looking through. And I feel like somebody in a producer's office, like waiting for the feedback, like he's gonna like it, he's not gonna like it. And he's very much the way he is right now. It's like he's hard to read him, so it's
Great
like,
poker player, Jesse.
yeah, oh yeah, awesome poker player. But no, he liked it, and obviously he's kept me around this long. But
That's cool.
but yeah,
man.
from there it was just like he said, it was always there, always talking about it, always doing art for it. And then when the time came to put it all together, he had a lot of the stuff written just through himself as well. And it's funny because even when you go back and look at some of that older stuff, which of course it's when we're closer to high school,
Sure.
and it's all more cliche stuff, and we look at it now and kind of laugh.
Right.
And it's like now it actually feels like it has weight and meaning, and it's like it actually makes more sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, and just helping with promotion, like I was mentioning to you guys earlier, that that's one of the things I learned early on here in this indie community is making connections, and really getting to know people. Like once I first met Sam, and it's so funny to hear that story about the dude dwarfing your booth, because I've seen your booth. Your booth dwarfs everybody else. So it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like you're already Super Saiyan to me. You're telling me there's another level 2 over here. Like let's fuse, Sam, and let's take it down. Let's pull that wall down. Just like no,
That's
but
awesome.
seriously, that was one of the first things that I loved about what I saw that Sam was doing. It was so prolific, and it's there. You see all the duty illustrations, and like he just showed it with that kid. The kid asked him the next day, literally, he delivers.
Right.
And I was just like, that's one of the coolest things. That's why I started following Sam's stuff, and I just like for our stuff. I'm the writer of our books, and my wife writes too, and she's actually the editor because she's a teacher. So if it wasn't for her, all our comics would have all kinds of spelling errors and grammar errors because I don't do that. But I love just ideas. That's why I was telling you, George, like when I saw the shameless plug and I read your pitch, I'm like, this is so good. Like
thanks, man.
it's so unique. And when I find, and that's one of the things I like about the indie community and meeting different people is like all the different ideas that everybody has that the main two or whatever would never give these a shot.
Yeah.
But now in modern times we have the ability to just hustle ourselves, and get out there and just do it on our own and kind of some people out there are getting rich on it. It's not me. It's not it's not Jesse, but I do come back to moments like what Sam said earlier, like especially for us, like I said, since ours is more the younger crowd, and they're always looking for that inspiration or something to just show them that there's still some good stuff in this world, man. Like you just got to look for it.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And I think that like the stuff that we're doing, right? We're all talking about, coming of age stories or like stuff for like younger readers. I think it truly is necessary because, we're going to age out. Comics are not going to be just, we're getting older. I know we like the hardcore stuff, some of us.
Speak for yourself.
But that stuff is we need the younger, the young readers to come in, and they need like that gateway, that gateway drug in a sense. Like, okay, this is cool. Let me see what else is going on. And then they can move on to the other comics. So, we're actually doing this industry a very good service, I think, with what we're doing. And I'm looking at the Teen Strike art, Jesse. So this stuff, man, this gives me like that Ben 10 kind of feel, like the way it looks. It looks really cool, man. What are some of your influences in the art?
So I'm a professional art director, and I do a lot of different things. So for me, keeping things different, like I never want to work on projects with the same art style. So with Teen Strike, since it takes place roughly around the turn of the century, right in that area, late 90s, early 2000s, I wanted to do exactly that, like a Ben 10, any Cartoon Network kind of feel and look to it. That's the main influence. Now for my other book, Chancla, that thing is like hardcore Mexican grindhouse, and that thing, I'm doing that and really, really serious, just crazy type of art style.
Right.
So it has to match the mood and the tone of everything. That's the way I've always believed it. But yes, you're right. Ben 10 was one of the ones I list.
Yeah. The earlier issues, did you, I know you said you started this obviously way back. Did you change or did you update the artwork for the earlier issues, like 1 through say 4? I mean, I guess 3 at this point. Or did you kind of just pick up from what you had already drawn at the time or what you guys had already done and then move forward from there?
So yeah, the stuff that we've drawn is generally done in our house style, which is what you're seeing there. I'm just popping this up real quick. The stuff that we drew in high school, turn off all these layers. The stuff we drew in high school at the time was all like, Image Comics or like I was extremely influenced by Humberto Ramos, that kind of stuff. So I actually,
I love his style, by the way. And he's a great dude, man. I've met him a few times. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah. He's really awesome. Damn it. This is, the hell is this? This is, well, I can share this. I actually have a bunch of our old artwork, but
Oh, really?
let's see
Okay.
here, yeah, but it's in the share screen. It's just I don't want to look for the actual source file for this because I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. But am I sharing? Is it?
Can you see it, Sam?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, here we
Boom.
go.
So like you can see it on the
Oh,
edges
yeah,
here of just like this is all old high school stuff, and this is the forward of the forward of the book.
right.
So I think this is one of the very first ones I ever drew, and this was
Yeah.
very much Humberto Ramos inspired. This is me drawing stuff in college. So at that point in time, I took more anatomy classes. This is actually one of the first ones, and it was all Looney Tunes style. 'Cause I've always done a lot of stuff in various different styles, but all this stuff is just really, really old.
Yeah.
So when I decided to just do the book, I had to find the right artist, and so I basically searched and searched and searched until I found Francisco Aridas out of Colombia, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and he. The reason I chose him was because I saw that he was doing he had like a really short like relationship comic, and it was really nice. Like all the characters had the right emotions, and
Right.
it was like this couple that was breaking up or something like that. And I said, oh, I could teach that dude how to do action scenes. So like, but that's what's important to me is the interaction. It's a coming of age story.
Right.
It's very personal stories. Hell, it's got my first girlfriend is part of it. And it's about me meeting my first girlfriend
Right.
and all that. So it's all I just wanted the characters to be believable, and I knew that he had it in him to do that. So that was really important to me, at least. So yeah, the art has changed quite a bit with the time. It's been like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Image Comics isn't necessarily super popular at the
Dude,
moment.
it's funny because you said back in the day, and then you said 90s, and I'm like, yeah, that is back in the days. Holy
It
crap.
is.
Like,
Yep.
that is back in the days. Damn. No, man, that sounds awesome, dude. Yeah. So for those watching again, Teen Strike is right now on the pre-launch stage on Kickstarter. The link is in the chat, so definitely check it out. It's launching. You said mid-October, right?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. All right, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. Joe,
We'll see.
anything you want to promote before we let you guys run? What do you got? What do you got going on with Child's Play? What's happening with that?
I mean, you can just go to our website, which is childsplaycomics.com, and see some of the stuff that we've released so far. Like I said, I'm actually waiting on the comics from our last Kickstarter, so that way I can start sending out the rewards. But you can order some of the extras that are up there. We just did our Kickstarter for a comic called How to Hunt a Hero, which is a one that me and Roy came up in college together. We actually were working on it the night before September 11th. Like, yeah, I'll never forget that because we actually slept late because of that, because we're working on it all night and didn't realize what was happening till almost noon the next day. And yeah, but we've tried to do that for so many years, and it was the one that Jesse mentioned that we did during the pandemic. That was just kind of our let's see if we can do it comic. It was just like a little 8-page preview, and then after that we put together this issue 1, which was a 32-page issue that we just did on Kickstarter. It's a world where there are no superheroes. Basically, the creatures of legend have powers in that world, like Bigfoot, Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, and this hunter. We call her kind of like our evil Iron Man / Bruce Wayne, because she's rich and she has these armors that she designs to capture these creatures. She studies them. She learns how to take their powers, and then she meets this guy that she likes and finds out that he's always wanted to be a superhero. So she finds a way to secretly infuse him with all those powers. But then it becomes a moral question because she did it against his will. So it's like she made his dreams come true, but is it still valid because he didn't give her permission? So that's our villain book, of all the ones we have. Most of our stuff is superheroes or all ages, like I said. And so that one, like I said, is out right now, and you can buy some of the issues there, or fingers crossed, if the printer gets them to me fast enough, I will have some at Denton. If not, then we are going to be back. We're going to be down in San Antonio for Big Texas Comic Con in mid-October, and for sure,
I'll be there too.
Nice. Yeah. Me and Sam just gonna do the tour. We're just
I
gonna,
know.
That's it.
let's do Texas tour 2026.
There you go, baby. There you go. Are you gonna be in Texoma next year? Do you guys do that show?
No, and I don't know if Jesse's ever looked into that one. Have you looked into?
Yeah,
Texas?
that's I went and met Lori out there.
Oh,
I don't.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't live too far from Texoma. You know, I'm here
Cool.
in North Dallas, so I don't know. It was pretty cool when I was there. Like it looked like there was a lot of people and everything. They say that show, at least Lori says it does really well for her, but I mean, I guess she does really well no matter what. But
No, it's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, I like your guys' energy. So this is a really cool show. So I would,
Thanks, man.
you know, I gotta come back when I'm ready to promote my other book, which is La
dude.
Chancla. That's gonna be one to look out for.
Bro, you guys definitely, man. Come back whenever you want, Joe. Whenever you want to come on here, Jesse. That when Chancla's ready to rock and roll, you bring it over here. You know, throw the chancla this way.
If you knew my grandmother, you know, that chancla came at me many times.
Chancla, bro.
Yeah,
you ready?
She's
like
the spirit of every grandmother.
Do you guys want to see a preview of that?
Yeah, you got one? Throw it up there, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you gotta show it to him.
That's what I'm drawing right now. I'm working on. I got into Tokyo Comic Con, so I'm
nice. When is that?
Trying first week of December. So I'm trying real hard to get some prints ready with my artist and I.
Bro, no wonder you're focused. I like that, Jesse. So wait, have you been to Tokyo before? Have you been out there? I don't know.
Yeah, I go all the time.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's just on the block.
He goes with that gearbox money. So
this year is I've been going like 3 times a year recently.
Wow, that looks really good, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is Chancla here.
That's nice, man. Damn.
Yeah, we got I'm working on a piece for her right now.
Wow.
This is Sebastian Gonzalez out of Argentina. He's phenomenal. This dude is. Here's some of the interior pages.
That was Fresa he just showed to you in the yellow.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's amazing. There's so much talent in Latin America, bro. Like
there is.
Colombia. There's just so much talent out there. That looks beautiful, bro.
This is going to be, like I said, hardcore Mexican grindhouse with a supernatural twist to it. It's in the same universe as Teen Strike, but this is a grindhouse story, so I'm telling it in its own style. Like I said, everything has its own style. I try my best to keep stuff.
Yeah, I like the name elote, la chancla, caucho, fresa. That's cool, dude. Yeah, that looks nice, man. Yeah, no. When you're ready to promote that, bro, come on over, man. I'm gonna bring
anyone that's interested in that can go to thechancla.com. I couldn't afford La Chancla, but hopefully I'll be able to buy lachancla.com. But for right now, it's thechancla.com, and you just go there and sign up, put your email, and then you'll be in the Substack, and then you'll know exactly when that launches. But it's gonna be pretty hardcore. It's gonna be a 40-page issue 0 that leads into a 5-chapter story. I might do it all together in one single graphic novel, or I might split it up in 2. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that yet.
Awesome, Jesse. No, that sounds good, man. Joe, thank you guys so much for coming on and helping us celebrate the 600th episode. This was a good one, and we'll see you guys soon, man. Hopefully, hopefully I'll meet you guys out in Texoma. I'll be out there next year with Sam. So hopefully I'll run into you guys.
Yeah, dude. Sounds great.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.
All right. So
awesome, that stuff looks good, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these guys are doing some big things. Yeah, and we got some special guests tonight. We got some talking smack people. We got some talented artists people. Yeah, he's pointing because you're the talking smack one. And yeah, so it's gonna be fun. But I wanted to share something that I would see on the other computer. I was working on the 600 stuff, and I didn't. I don't have access to it. But I want to show you the first studio that we had. Catch Da Craze. That was the first podcast studio. Remember that?
Right. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Damn.
That was the first studio, bro.
Was that in the basement?
That was in the basement, bro.
That was in the basement.
Yes.
Damn. Did you have like a logo, like the Catch Da Craze logo on the floor?
I had C for Crazy Comics on the floor. I cracked tile and I did it on the floor. It was dope. And then this was my first live interview at New York Comic Con. Look at that. You see that? You see that mic flag? That was a box that I put stickers on for Catch the Craze logo because I didn't know I didn't know that you can buy mic flags. And so I created a makeshift mic flag. That was
Well, you look like Mike Carbonero in that outfit, bro. What's going on here?
Yeah, I know. I had a blazer on and everything. That was one of our first postcard flyers that we used to give at our conventions to promote Catch the Craze.
Oh, look at Rosario Dawson then at the bottom with myself and Mr. Arroyo there.
Michael Avon Oming, he was on the show. We had Rosario Dawson. We had a lot of people. It was crazy. And then this was when we used to host.
You were downloading LimeWire files in that room.
Yo, look at that. This is when we hosted the indie after party at New York Comic Con.
Oh my God, dude. Look at Brian's Tom.
It's crazy, right?
That's hilarious.
This was the crew right there. Look at those. Look at those.
That was out in Philly, right? We were out in Philly.
That was at Philly. We had the baseball caps and everything.
Sam looking. John's looking like he's about to fall behind you.
I know.
He's tripping. He's about to trip.
And then this is back in those days. This is George and I's first time at Wizard World.
That was in Chicago.
Yeah,
look at Russ. That's when I was joining Russ.
Yeah, man. And Cosmic Wars.
Damn. Look, we had that love-hate relationship. We've always had it.
Yeah, and we had DVDs on the table. Remember?
Oh yeah, we had the DVD. That's right.
Yeah, we were working on a DVD.
God,
that was crazy.
What is going on?
That was crazy. So before we bring in our guests, I want to remind everybody of why you should subscribe to Catch the Craze podcast. But who cares what we say? We love to hear from our previous guests.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch Da Craze.
You are watching Catch Da Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch Da Craze.
Where are all the indies at? A Catch Da Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch Da Craze.
What are you gonna do?
Subscribe now to Catch Da Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the craze. Join the movement. Catch the craze.
And I think it's time to bring in some of our guests.
Who are bringing in?
Tissue, was it? Tissue
box
box
on
on
the
the mic. You were down. That's crazy. So let's see. No special order. We're gonna start bringing in the dancing duo. Let's bring
not dynamic. The dancing duo.
So, every time the song come on, I would be like.
What's up, Technicots?
Bring those hats back. I'll rock those hats.
Dude, thank you for joining us. Welcome on the show, man.
Yes.
How you guys been?
Good, brother. Good. Celebrating 600 episodes.
Congratulations. Full on hype sound.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yo, you crazy.
Hype sounds all day.
They use that at shows. Right, Mike? After every sale?
Every sale.
That's awesome.
As soon as I showed up, I was like, where's the hype sound? Yes. Like, I was like, you gotta get it for the show.
All right, so listen, now that you guys are on this show, I want you to tell everybody who Technicots is. You got to plug your show, your book real quick. So let's do that. Let's get that out of the way. And then I got a couple of questions for you guys.
All right, want to do the full on?
All right, thanks for sharing. Next.
Wow.
Wow. Shots fired again, Sam. Seriously. What I ever do to y'all? I'm like your #1 supporter. Just keep getting shot at.
Yo, strange.
I'm catching a stray sitting next to you.
I know, Rob.
Damn, just put you on a t-shirt.
All right, so go ahead. So tell us about the book.
All right, so
knock them out.
You know how there is always a secret society or an organization that knows exactly what to do when the monster, the villain, the big bad arises. In our story, they're called the Serpentarium. It's our version of the Illuminati. And they were the ones that fought this ancient technological evil called the Technogods. But because they haven't fought one in so long, when they awaken, when they arise, the Technogod just wipes the floor with them. Right?
Yep.
Then when we pick up the story, it's with the lower level members of this group as they are regrouping and then traveling from England to Greece to find an elder member of the group that actually defeated a Technogod a little over a century ago. And the Technogod that they are facing, it has the ability to manipulate reality. So as they traverse from England to Greece, they keep encountering these
ancient mythologies.
Yeah, mythological creatures with like spins on it. So wraiths, harpies, and other kind of obscure localized creatures.
And that's what's cool is once in a while, like the main character Cliff, if he gets knocked out or falls asleep, he gets dragged into the like dream world, and Rob changes the art style into like his watercolors.
Yeah, so we have like watercolors. We have actually 3 different art styles in the book, like the real world, flashbacks, yep, and then the nightmare world.
Yeah.
So,
nice, dude. See, that this is the kind of stuff, Sam. You haven't seen these guys in action at shows. That's the kind of stuff that works. And I know you guys have been doing really good at these conventions. Which one do you think has been your most successful?
The last one we just did, right?
Yeah.
Terrificon was like,
Yeah.
like we came, like it was, yeah, we just did better than we've ever done there in Terrificon.
People were very receptive to the.
And it helps we did not go to the casino afterwards. Yeah. It saved us a lot of money.
Was that the one that you were?
Scratch off. I was like, shit, I'm good. I'm good.
Mike, was that the one that you weren't there on Friday and you guys had your best sales day on Friday? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
I wasn't really alone. Someone was there.
Yeah.
You know, we had to earn our keep. You know what I mean? You guys hooked us up. See, these guys, man. All right. So when I go to conventions, dude, I'm so spoiled by not waiting online that I try to find like, you know, anybody who's vending and say, hey, do you have any extra passes? I'll buy them off of you. And that's what we did, which at that show was scary, dude, because I got there before they did. They paid for the table. They had a table. I went up there and asked for the badges and they gave them to me. I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. I was like, Rob, I got the badges. He's like, how did you get the badges?
When I got the message, it was just like, oh, I got them. I was like, great. And I was like, wait,
how?
hold on.
How?
We've had a hitch in Terrificon's giddy up, but
they don't call him Sticky Fingers Medina for nothing.
I would have showed up and there would have just been shameless plug all over the table.
That would have been it.
Been bamboozled.
No, man, but I'm glad you guys had a good show. You're obviously doing it next year.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Issue number 5 is out, right? Is that the one that's out now?
Oh,
the proof arrives this week.
Yeah, we did one proof. It was like didn't look great, so we sent it back for a second proof.
Yeah, it's couple little things where just
you guys know how it is.
Couple of the cropping, a little bit of was a couple complaints like, okay, maybe lighten this up a little bit. So I went back and just tweak.
Yeah,
and we're like, all right. And then Mike sent it out, and then
I should get it by either Friday or Saturday this week. Yeah. Hopefully, when we get it, we'll check it out and we'll start printing.
Should be good to there. Yeah.
That's the good thing about those proofs, man. Those proofs are important.
Yeah, we're doing 6, and we're working on just something else, an anthology.
Oh, yeah.
Have I told you about that, George?
I vaguely heard. Well, all I know is it's something about some kind of Discord involved. I don't know.
Damn, man.
Oh no.
Trying to lock this man down. And like 3 weeks into the project, he's like, I'm out.
I got no money. You see this guy back here? He took all of it. He took all of it. No, but tell us about the
It's just a short story. It's 7 short stories, loosely based on the 7 deadly sins.
Yep. So yeah, we don't want it to be so overt where people are like, oh, and this is this one. So basically, our kind of not instructions, but like every creator, it's like, okay, hit those kind of like thematic elements, and like, can you like quietly implement like aspects of the 7 deadly sins and like anything that's interconnected with them. So like everybody's been doing like kind of subtle research and just the little things people have shared. I'm like, okay, I can see how that fits. Yeah. And it's got some fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, we came up with like the cover concept at the Terrificon.
Yep.
And it's going to be like basically 2 panels of every story on the front and back of the.
So like like this fractured kaleidoscope of like so people can actually see what is within. And from my point of view, it's like that it will also show like the different art styles that will be featured, because that's what one thing I thought was, okay, if we, let's say, have one person do the cover, it's like that. If you have an anthology of like very different people with different art styles, that one cover could potentially not sell them. You know, it's like when the Hollywood butchers a trailer, and then they sell a movie one way, and then no one goes to see it, and then it's like after the fact, people are like, did you see it? Oh, it was amazing. And it's like, well, the trailer didn't sell it to us. It's like, how can we make a cover of an anthology?
And let me stop Sam because I see the wheels turning. Like, why wasn't I invited to this project?
Let me stop.
We have one slot left.
Oh.
We were talking about it at the con, and he popped up as we were talking about it. I was like, what about George? That sounds good. Let's get George to go. So
you talk to the nice guy first, huh?
This is how it happened. You had one spot left.
So it's like, all right,
he goes, hey, we just need to. What about that guy from Crazy?
My man over here. So I'm going with George tonight.
Great. Okay, I have one more question for you guys.
Yes, before we bring in the next guest.
Yes. So, how did you find out about our Crazy podcast? Like, how did you come across this?
I don't know if it's your next guest, but if Anibal's coming on through Anibal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm friends with Anibal, so he's your site, and I was like, let me check out these clowns over here. See what's.
Wow.
Friends here.
That's
nice.
it.
But no, honestly, when I first watched like the first episode, I'm like, all right, these guys are pretty cool, and then it just you guys are really good. So I'm like, let me just stick with you guys.
Thanks,
You're growing us like fungus.
Mushrooms on my shirt.
All right, so we have another guest in the waiting room. We're going to bring her on. Fantastic illustrator, Lou Hans. What's up?
Oh, hey. I was waiting for Anibal. I thought they were setting it all up, but I'm just like, hey,
Sam doesn't do setups.
I don't do setups. I just go right in.
You're like, whatever, man.
It's like,
whatever.
Wait for the bell.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was going to be introduced as the smack talker. I was like, what am I going to come on and say? If I am, I hope I'm the artist.
Lou, you've been in the chat for a long time, but we've never actually had a chance to talk to you about what you do. You're an incredible artist.
Fantastic artist.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and like, how'd you start the whole art? Are you trained in how did it start?
Well, training, I suppose, is something that I got, but I started drawing when I was a kid. It was just like, I was that kid who did the drawings at school, and if something needed to have like a drawing on it, it was like, can you just color this or do this? Or it was always coming to me, and I was okay with that. I just didn't think that it was like a difficult thing. It just felt quite natural. And there was other kids who I thought were really good at art. And I did that and just ended up kind of getting pushed into, oh, well, you're going to art school, aren't you? And I was okay with that as well. I'm like, yeah, all right. I didn't particularly want to do anything else because that was all I liked to do. So I did that for a bit. And I did I did kind of everything. I started out with one of those courses where you're just thrown in and you do everything. And that was okay. And then I kind of stepped back a bit, did a regular job. Then I ended up going back, and I just couldn't stop going back. I've had a lot of breaks from art, but I just couldn't stop going back. It's like, I've just got to go back. And I did multiple courses, multiple stints through colleges, art courses. Everybody was just like, yeah, come on, you can come here. And I'm like, okay. And I would do that. And then again, life got in the way for about 10 years or so. And I stopped drawing altogether. And then I ended up marrying an artist, supported the artist who I was married to, and didn't draw anything myself. I was just on a break thinking, I just don't do that anymore. And then I got back to it because another life event happened. And I just didn't know what to do with myself. It was like, I don't want to get morbid, but my mother passed away. And she always enjoyed doing art herself. And she enjoyed it when I was doing art. And I just needed something to get me through it. So I picked the pencils back up again. and I ended up doing my first Comic Con, which was Wizard World. It was like,
Which one?
I've never done one before, but I think it was in 2013 in Austin.
Oh, okay.
It was
wow.
either 2012 or 13. And that was my first one. And then I kind of got hooked then when I realized people actually wanted to buy my stuff. I was like, oh, people actually like what I do. I'm not wasting my time.
There you go.
And then I got to interact with people, and that kind of kept me in it. I didn't step away after that. I just stuck at it.
Oh shoot. So wait, so you just kept coming back to the art. You couldn't just you couldn't walk away from it. Rob,
I can't stop.
Have you had a point where like you were like, yeah, I'm not gonna draw anymore, and then you just kept coming back to it?
I had a couple because paid the bills with art for quite some time, but
right.
But there has been a couple times where really there was a break in between really book 4 and 5 due to a couple where I had like an absolute artist block, and it really stemmed from a couple different incidents. I had a couple of people, some friends, family passed away, and for me, so often art was therapy, right? Like if something was emotionally in me, process it through art, through music, and then all of a sudden, year and a half ago, where I realized like, okay, I'm gonna start drawing, and then like, okay, well, I'm not really feeling it this weekend, and all of a sudden I realized it's like 2 months have gone by, 3 months have gone by, and it's like, and I
just going crazy. Mike's like, where are the pages?
Yeah, and it's like, and he knew like I was kind of going through like just seeing like some for people close to me passing away. And it's like,
and
I realized like I am clearly not processing these things. Plus with work and fam, all these different things. Like the normal way of processing it was through art and music, and suddenly I just wasn't. Like that spark wasn't there. And one other time, I'd say about like 20 years ago, I had a moment where probably like 5 years went by where I was taking care of a sick family member. I was in an unhealthy relationship that I didn't know was unhealthy. And just basically taking care of that person too. And then it kind of dawned on me, like, I think I've had the same sketchbook. I realized like I had the same sketchbook for like 5 years. So I realized when I was like kind of looking through it, when I was like, I should draw, I was like, I look at the first few pages and I'm like, this is 5-6 years old. That means I haven't done anything. That was like, I'd say around like 2004 to 2008 or 9, where I was like, I just did not have any spark because it was all like put towards helping family members and people who didn't need the help, but they were basically getting it. And then after like those situations cleared up, I was just like, I got a bunch of stuff in here and it's got to come out.
Yeah. Lou, I know you said you went to a Comic-Con. Did you try your hand at comics at all? I know you spoke about it over the week, and you kind of mentioned you haven't really actually done interior art on comics, right?
No, the only thing that I did was the duty piece that I did for Sam, because I wanted to I had this idea, and I wasn't really considering myself as a sequential artist at all, because I've always just done covers or pinup stuff. It's just like that. Like I consider myself an illustrator. I like to tell a story with the image that I've got in front of me. And if it's not telling a story, I don't think I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But I've had a few people like they've been asking me, do I do interior pages? Because they'd like to see what I can do. And I'm like, I'll try it. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Nah, sequential art is not easy, man. That is not easy work.
It's not. It's not. The last thing I did that was even close to it would have been storyboarding.
Right.
Because I did, when I was going through college, as well as doing art stuff, I also did a lot of media. I did a lot of TV stuff. I was the person, I mean, I was the kid, like, anybody watch the Goldbergs?
Yeah.
Well, the kid is like, I was the kid with the camera. That was me when I was growing up. I was the kid with a camera. I was always setting up something, whether it was like running around the neighborhood, running around the house with that camera, doing something, getting people to act. I would be acting. I I'm terrible at it, but I did it. And we would just come up with things. And then other times we'd be like, okay, now I'm gonna use the same camera and do stop animation or something like that. So my background's always been those things. I just can't stop messing around, really.
I hear you. And then, so Lou, you got more people coming in, Sam?
Yeah, we got End of Zed.
Oh, okay. So Lou, final question I asked this to the guys. How did you find the channel? How did you find us? How did you come across?
Oh, that's easy. Dan Price. Because Dan was on the show, but it wasn't, I don't think it was a Tuesday night. I think it was when Sam was doing his brokepreneur stuff, when he had his stint where he was just focused on his comic book. And I think he was doing a morning show as well. And if I'm remembering correctly, Dan told me he was going to be on something, or I saw it on his Facebook, looking for something to watch. And I happened to come across that because Dan was going to be on it. And then I looked at the channel and realized that there was more stuff going on. And then I found the Tuesday night. And I don't think it's been quite a while since you guys have done a morning show. So I think I just caught the tail end of those. So I'm glad I caught it, because I don't think I've missed many episodes since. I'm like, I'm not stalking you, I promise. I just like the show.
Yeah, we used to have the morning brew. That's what it was.
Yeah. That's right.
That's the one, right? Yeah.
There you go. So who do we have next, Sam?
We have End of Zed. We got Mr. Lima in the house. What's up?
I made it. 600th episode. Oh my God. Give him a hand, everyone. Give him a hand. Oh my God. I can't recall anything I did 600 times in my life, yet alone 600 shows. Oh my God. So y'all got questions for you guys, all right? I need to know, how has the show evolved from episode 1? Like, what was the format then, and how did it change? Right, exactly.
Yeah, that picture again.
Wow. Yeah, that picture.
You didn't see the
one in the creepy basement?
What was the mission of like the first show? Like, what was your yeah, go ahead.
The mission was at that time we broke into the comic game as Crazy Comics. But every pod there was Comic Geek Speak and iFanboy, and they were just focusing on the big two. Those are the two podcasters at the time. So I went to PodCamp at the New Yorker Hotel. Wow. And it was like a convention and trying to sell the idea of podcasting. And it was mostly people who were doing cooking shows and all that stuff were doing it, right? So I went there, then I ran to Sam Ash. And I ran there and I said to the guy, I said, look, I need a soundboard that hooks up to my computer, and I need mics because I want to do a podcast. I don't know anything about this. So the guy walked me through it. He goes, this is how you set it up. Then I called George. I said, yo, George, we're doing a podcast called Catch Da Craze. We're going to focus on independence. And he was like, what? So our first show was in the basement, and it was me, Jonathan, and George. And we're sitting there with the mics, and we were just talking. And we would talk about conventions. We would talk about art. And then we started getting guests. So in the beginning, it was just us just chatting and doing recaps. Mm-hmm. And then we just started getting a lot of guests. And then we were just getting bookings and bookings and bookings.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, man. Here we are, 600 episodes, really. What an honor to be here, you know. But I have to ask you, when you went to Sam Ash, did anyone ask you to sign this? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Now, Lou Pons, let's give it up for Lou Pons. Wow. You know, Lou, whenever I see this, you know the first thing I say to myself? This is what Lou said. Hey,
can I get my ball back?
There you go. Okay, can I get my ball back CD cover, you know? And then, of course, back then, he looked a little like Lenny Kravitz. You know? Lenny Kravitz look. If you guys didn't know that, this Sam did that. Yes. Special shout out to Lou Ponzo. I got to tell you, Lou, first, thank you. What an honor it is to meet you here finally online. You know, you've been one of my biggest supporters.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, and the way that you light up the show with your comments, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is why I asked these two up here and Lou to come on, because you guys, like, for real, on the chat, they are vicious. On the chat, the comments coming from that side of the podcast right there.
Yes, but everyone, even Dan here, Arroz con Pollo, it's like there's a family here, there's a community here that's always been here, and I'm very grateful that I found, and to be part of this 600th episode really is a lot. especially in the N to Z story, which I'll make a little announcement at the end of this, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really been my honor to be here because the community in itself just keeps me going. Now, even though I don't comment on every show, I listen to every show. Trust me. And so I've evolved from when Sammy moved, right, to when
Which time? Which time?
The second time. Both of them, right? Both of them, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So Ed, so when did you come across the show? Like, how did you find us? Like,
one of Sam's shows where he's showing you the day of the life of. When he's showing the day of the life of an artist. And I said, oh my gosh.
One of those depressing ones.
On
the ones where like the music is really depressing, where you like just want to not do this anymore. That one where he's talking really soft.
Yes, that's it. Where he wakes up in the morning, he's eating his protein bars, you know, his dogs are on the side. Beautiful house, by the way. Beautiful house, you know.
I know.
But then when you see him set up and the passion doing it, I was like, wow, man, this dude's on to something, you know. And then from there, I heard that you ever show and took it from there. Go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Have you ever seen any of the episodes where George chose which hotel they're going to stay at?
No, but I've seen the pictures though. Oh my gosh, I've seen the pictures. The Pimp Hotel
never happened.
Oh,
the hotel never happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, George picked the purple room with Jonathan.
That was a special night. Anyway, listen, guys, let's talk about the show.
The curtain and the purple light.
And Ellie's in the house. Jesus Christ, save me. Mike, say something. What are we doing over there?
I'm just listening. I'm trying to figure out what the purple room is.
Oh, you know, it was special.
It's the champagne room. George's champagne room.
I heard when I saw the purple room, I heard TLC in the background, red light special. I was like, oh no.
And so
does everyone know the story about that, by the way? George, do you think everyone knows the story about that? Like
about which the purple
about the purple room, how it came to be, how you got it.
John, I wish Jonathan was here. I'm like, wait, hold on, I got something to do. No, we were in Boston, and Jonathan was booking a room. He'll tell you that I say, yo, dude, just pick the most cheapest hotel you can find. And so John decided
by the hour.
So John decided, let me go on where the prostitutes hang out, and we ended up in a purple room.
Oh my
God. That's the short end of the stuff.
There was a guy named Dante with platforms outside, and he was like, yo, he says, I got you.
I'm like, John,
did it have an outline of a body and like white chalk and stuff like that when you went in the room? Oh my gosh, that room was
You know, that front desk was like,
interesting. Yeah. Okay. By the way, thanks, Lou. You did it again. This is
yes, she does. This is you. But again, that's what this show is, man. Good laughs, good times, man. And I really appreciate it.
Like the simplest room. It was like I did a couple years ago. I did the 2 shows in Vegas and 2 shows in LA for Slayer, and when we flew into Vegas and then rented a car and drove into LA, and it snowed for the first time in like a decade. So we were driving through like Barstow. And like people were like sledding, and everybody we were with was like, "This isn't supposed to happen." When we got there, we ended up renting a room in like West Hollywood. And I tell everyone, I was like, "I need you guys to be prepared. We're gonna see some stuff, all right? But it's the cheapest room because we just need to get back and forth to the show." And within like 45 minutes, everyone who was with me was like, "Stuff happening in that pool." And I was like,
"Stuff's happening."
Go to see Slayer like 2 hours. We're good.
Yeah, over the years we stayed at some special places.
Yes,
we had the blood room.
Yes, we
had the room that was so far away from transportation. We had to walk across highways to get to the train
that was
station.
in San Diego. That was in San Diego, bro.
Yeah, everything to find a cheap room. Anything.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, but listen, we really appreciate you guys watching the show every week, coming on and just chatting it up, just giving us your takes on the different things. We try to have, so we started putting the guests at the beginning of the show because we noticed that after the Get Your Meds segment, the crowd started kind of leaving the thing. So we started putting the guests at the beginning, and then we started doing the and I think it's worked a little better.
Yes,
so
I remember. Yeah, I remember George and I were sitting down. We're like, we keep dropping off after the Get Your Meds segment, and as soon as we go into the interviews, and so we're looking at all the data. It's like, let's flip it, bro. Let's bring the guests in the beginning, and then let's leave the live discussion towards the end. This way, everybody will stay through it, and the guest gets airtime, and people will stay longer.
Right.
And it worked. But yeah, I remember we were driving ourselves nuts trying to figure it out.
What I'm noticing now is that the people are coming in at about 8:30.
Yeah,
not 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? They on to us, Sam. They on. They know what we're doing.
That's you guys, though. Everyone wants to see you guys.
That's crazy.
Thanks, Mike. You're so nice on screen.
Like,
in the chat.
Nice all the time, my friend. All the time. I may be snarky in the chat room, but I'm nice.
Listen, one of these
The
days.
thing is, it is working.
Wait,
sorry, it is working. It is working, switching it around. I did notice that it was definitely different, and it actually had a different feel. But I have to say, as much as I enjoy the guests, I like to see who's going to come on. But I have to say, the nights where we haven't had any guests, you two have really held down a good show, and they've been some of the best shows.
Yeah,
thank you.
So I totally see why people are just waiting to see your segments that you guys do, because they're interesting, and I've learned stuff from them. That's part of the reason why I show up. I keep showing up for the shows, because I feel like I learned something, and then I also feel like I'm motivated, and I get motivated from things that you guys are saying and the guests. So that's, for me, I kind of look forward to the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, thank you. We appreciate that, because part of the thing is, listen, man, we've been doing this for a long time. I mean, 03, I met Sam way back in the day, and we've made a lot of mistakes in this thing. That we obviously don't have, tons of money making. We have actual jobs still, so we've obviously made a lot of mistakes. And I thought that, a Get Your Mess segment where we were kind of talking about the stuff that we messed up could help people not make the same mistakes and do things a little different. And I honestly appreciate, like, Mike, you're good with this, giving us topics as well. Like, what do you guys want us to talk about? Because I think that also helps the conversation, and just talking about, what happens in the indie world, because people don't realize how tough this thing is until you actually do it, until you're actually in it, like how hard this stuff really is.
Yeah. And a lot of times I'll call George Monday, the day before the show. I said, you got a topic, right? And then we come up with a topic the night before. And sometimes, like, if I do a convention and something would stick out to me, I was like, how about this? And then he'll do a show, or I'll see another podcast, or I'll see something in the news. I'm like, hey, how about that? And then we'll talk about it the day before. He'll create the graphic, and then we're off to the races.
Yeah.
Well, question, besides my show, what other show was the most memorable show that you guys remember? That's something that really stood out to you, other than my show, because I know that was the bomb.
No, your show is
any show that you remember that kind of like you stood out, like, holy cow, that was a special night.
I'm trying to think though, like, because I think our show had a lot of views. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
Well,
a lot of Chiefs right now. A lot of Chiefs.
Present company excluded. I think one of our most memorable shows was actually one of the most recent shows, was that show where William Russell came on, and there was that whole beat.
Oh,
and like,
that's what I remember.
That's why. No, I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, William Russell has a Kickstarter right now for his
launching
book,
tonight.
Psycho Sal. There, he's launching tonight. So big shout out to him. And the funny thing is, all right, so when you look at people sometimes, and Mike, we talk about this sometimes, like, you don't know how these people are going to be outside of this, right? Correct. And they'll portray something completely different on screen, and when you meet him, you're like, this person's not that bad. William is one of those guys where, dude, he's not a bad dude. You know what I mean? Like, I think that night, it was just one of those nights where he was like, yeah, come at me, and
that's what you need more than East Coast versus West Coast. Bring some drama on your show.
Yeah, seriously, I think that's one of those shows. What about you, Sam? What's yours?
I think one of the shows that I found the most interesting for me was John Ottinger Dweors. He worked for he does like props and movie props and all this stuff, and he created these amazing figurines for his comic book series. And I think I was the most intrigued and fascinated because he was the closest thing to what I aspired to achieving at an indie level. And he was just killing it. I mean, his setups was just like, it was just like walking into a Disney prop room, right? And so I think that for me was one of the things I was like, man, this guy's really killing it. That was it. I was like fascinated by that discussion.
What about you guys? Any shows that stand out like as far as?
I'm gonna say my favorite show was probably when you guys did that draw off.
Oh, that was awesome. Yes.
All right.
That was crazy. It was really
There was no winner, was there? There's not a part 2 has never happened. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
That was the last show we did in Jersey.
10-way draw.
Wow.
That was the third Catch Da Craze studio. That I just built it. I think we only had it up for 3 months, and that was it.
The first time we had been there together.
Right? You had like a huge conference room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I did a whole segment on the building of it and the whole bit.
Sure.
And then he moved. It was like, what the?
He moved right after that. I was like, wait, what?
And I had to sell everything. I sold all of it.
Some of my favorite shows are with JD. I think with JD, you guys just have such a chemistry, man.
Rosario?
Yes, of
Rosario's
course, man.
hilarious.
Those are my favorites. Yeah, those are the ones that I rewatch. You know,
He's a funny dude. Are you going to be at New York Comic Con, Ed? Are you stopping
yeah,
by?
Yep, but no booth or anything. But I'll come by and visit and everything.
Yeah,
and I always see you guys and everything. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to announce. I'm not. So End of Zed isn't dead, right? The End of Zed. It's not the end of Zed. All right. Everything went well with the first issue and everything, but actually, instead of taking out it per issue, I'm actually going to take it out all as one set. So we're getting it to like 70 pages. It's going to be a graphic novel, and we actually started the artwork about a month ago.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really excited. You know what it is? I guess it really bugged me because when you're only dealing with the first issue, there's only so much of the story you can tell. And the story really is the heart of what the story is about. So not being able to kind of tell you what happens during the middle of it and the end really got to me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be patient. You know, I don't have, George Medina money, so I can't pay it all at one time.
None of us do.
Yeah. Nope. I got to go back to my first profession as a male stripper. So no matter what, I'm actually going to do it. And I'm going to actually piece it together. It's going to be about 72 pages, and I'm going to get it done.
He's talking about U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, about stripping paint. What are you talking about? What were you talking about? I'm a man strip paint.
Dude, that's exciting. That's exciting news, bro. Good stuff.
But yes. So big announcement. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be different because I got to tell you again. I think so many people learn from your show, guys. That you may not know it. Like, for example, you guys lately have been talking about how social media, the effects of social media, how effective it was before, how it's not that much anymore. Right. So now there's a new kind of game you have to go into. It's not social media is going to be your savior anymore, or even Kickstarter for that fact. That Kickstarter is going to kind of save you and bring you over. So we got to think of new innovative ways. This is 2025. There's going to be new ways that we're going to have to kind of reach people. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. And again, learning from you guys. Is one of the things that's kind of catapulted me to doing that. So
good job. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, man. That's the way to do it. I think, you get, and the thing with the first issue, now that you have it, when you start doing conventions, you can sell the first issue as like a taste. Here, you don't want the entire thing. Check out the first issue. Come back for the rest, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's smart, man. That's smart.
When that people come back for that second, that third, especially if there's like a span of time. There's that like. All right, like we planted a seed. Like
right, correct.
And it's so cool to see it, like as an outsider, even for you guys, the Technogod stuff that you guys. It's cool to see somebody come back and ask
year
for
later.
That next issue.
I need these next books. It's like,
that is such a cool thing too. I've seen it even with Sam, like where they come back. Oh, what's that next issue? Like it's such a good feeling to have somebody because now you're like, oh wow, that's a fan. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said even with Sam, you see how it's plus there, Sam.
Even with Sam,
like passive aggressive.
I know, right?
What are we doing, Mike? What are we doing? This is a celebration. You know what? Lou, what was your favorite show?
I'm gonna have to say it was probably early on when I first actually found out about this show being on the Tuesday nights. And every time I showed up, there was a test. And it was one in particular where Sam was promoting there's an alien in my toilet.
The trivia.
And every time I showed up, it was trivia. So it was like, it's kind of like a multiple. It's like whichever one was the trivia, because I'd only just discovered it. I had no clue about duty, and I was trying to answer the questions. I was like, oh yeah, I know that one.
That's where you pulled up one of your mazes, and I think Hades was on the show. He's like, "Is that a QR code? What the hell is that?"
Right.
This is a kid's book. This is a kid's book. This is the most complicated maze you have ever seen in your life. He's like, "What is that? A QR code? What the hell are we looking at?" It was hilarious.
That's great.
That's right.
That's what drew me in, because it was just so much fun, and I realized that it was like we were just with all it was all ages, it was all types of people, and it didn't matter. And it was like I had no idea what the answers were, but I was just throwing them out and seeing if I could get a score.
She's like, blue.
It was great.
And you moved on to the subject of just like space in general, and I was like, yes, I know these.
So guys, we talked about the best, right? Give me that one episode that you wish you can burn. You can go back in the internet vault, take that episode, and just throw it out the trash. Now you don't have to be specific, because we don't want to break anyone's heart here. Any show that you remember, you said,
there's one show, right, where
that's
like
a dumpster fire.
It was. I think for me, it was a show with we were supposed to have 3 guests on it, and one bailed. I can't remember the name. The comic book rhymes with "Esme Odds" or something like that.
You got to read between the lines. Huh? Okay, go ahead.
I just got it. They go, is he talking about us?
I was like, damn. I was holding breath. I was like, he's definitely not going that way.
No, not that. I'm lying. No, you guys, I loved you guys' show. You guys were good. No, I think for me, any show where like you gotta really, you have to like really pull the answers out of guests. To me, those are the worst shows. Where like, and it could be because maybe it's their first time on on a podcast or whatever. Now I think it's a lot of people have been on podcasts like crazy, but back a few years ago, after the pandemic, people really weren't doing this, and they got a little gun shy. And when you had to pull these questions out and you were getting one-word answers, to me, those are the ones that I'm like, oh man, that was tough. That was a tough one. Yeah.
Was there anyone ever who wanted to get on the show that had nothing to do with comics, like they were selling vacuums or something? Or
oh yeah,
like...
I interviewed a guy who ran a call center in another country.
Damn.
Yes, that was a fascinating interview. He was the president.
That's favorite show.
It was a fascinating interview, and it's on the show. George wasn't there, and
that's why he liked it. That's right. You see that?
He hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, I really love your show," and I was like, "Yo, come on."
How did that happen, though, Sam? He just
he was a listener. He was a listener, and he relocated to another country and started his own call center. And he's an entrepreneur, and he has a big giant arcade room with pinball machines and everything. It was I thought it was fascinating. No, my worst was, and I'm not going to say the name, but you can find it because it was also the shortest interview. George wasn't there, and I got stuck with doing this interview. And it was like pulling teeth. It was probably about 16 minutes. It was the quickest interview I did because I was like, I got to cut this off. And it was just me. And I ran the show from that point on my own. And then I just cut but it was probably the shortest interview ever, but it was pulling teeth. It was just like, I couldn't get, it was like, what the hell am I doing here? So I'm like, if you want to come on a social platform to be social, then be social.
Right,
I was like, don't be anti-social.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy.
Sam, is that why you keep moving? Because the call center guys keeps tracking you down.
That's a Bill
Clinton. Tell me again. He's like 1990 Columbia House.
Oh, that's
great. Paying me for these CDs, buddy.
Oh, we've interviewed filmmakers. We interviewed puppeteers.
Oh yeah, we had. See, actually, the young lady who was a puppeteer, she was trying to get into it and start.
Mia, the puppeteer.
Yeah. She ended up doing puppeteering for the Broadway show for the actual show that they did for the Muppets on Broadway.
Oh,
she ended up working for them. Yeah. No, Sesame Street on
Sesame
Broadway.
Street. Okay,
Yeah, she ended up working for them. So yeah, it actually worked out for her.
We had actors,
Musicians.
musicians. We had musicians.
Yeah. We've had the array of people. What about you guys? What was the worst show? You were like, I got it. I'm not watching this one. It's not happening. I got stuff to do.
Be kind to George. Be kind to George.
Anyone with George was there.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are bad.
No.
They're all different. That's all.
Correct.
Correct. I can't say one.
And there's sometimes that you can concentrate on the show so you can listen to it fully, 100%. But then there are times you're doing other things as you're doing it, so you may
Lou
not
doesn't want to answer this question. Lou's like,
I'm out. Left the room.
Lou's like, nah, I'm not doing this.
So yeah,
off the record, I'm gonna mention a thing to you guys about something that I watched. I was literally flaming his phone with comments about like, I can't believe this, but well, off camera, I don't want to put that.
Yeah.
But there was an instance where
I was like, "Are you seeing this?" Yeah.
What was happening? Was George?
Yeah,
what was George doing? Again?
Because actually, the interview went well. There was just something else happening at the time, and we were like, "What's going on here?"
Losing my mind.
Interesting.
It was
really.
Yeah, boy, I can't wait for the show to be over to hear about this one.
Seriously, damn, this is gonna be good.
I'm like intrigued. I'm like, what's
I know. Okay, show's over, guys. Thanks for watching.
Did I leave the cameras on when I was changing? What the heck?
Yeah.
So, quick question. That actually leads me to another question. Did you guys ever have any kind of really big technical issues during any of your shows that were like disastrous? Or
my launch?
Oh, is that true?
They bring on Cyphex.
The gremlins come out, right?
Anytime they bring on Cyphex.
Why? What happens? Give me an instance.
Well, no,
these cameras always.
So we try to do these. We call ourselves the Four Horsemen, right? Because we've been doing this together. Me, it's Sam, it's Anibal, it's our friend Jonathan Cyphex, and myself. And whenever Jonathan comes on the show, there's always a technical. He's the one falling in the back.
Yes.
There's always an issue. There's always a technical issue. So funny that you say that, dude. Wow. That is funny.
Jonathan, huh?
In our first show, right? The camera face tracking was on. So,
yeah, like nobody said anything in the chat either.
We didn't know. So like it was like we were like trying to move around like China and like they were just keeping track of face recognition. Like I had no idea. And like after the rewatch, we're like, oh, dude, they're just like.
You would think the host would say, there's these big yellow squares on your face.
I thought you were being artistic and you wanted to do it that way. I don't know. I didn't know you guys back then. We have a rapport.
Yeah, Jonathan. Back in the days, we used to have a segment called "Fun Facts with Cyphex," because we're the early days of Catch Da Craze podcast. Because Jonathan would be, he would be so just confident in his answers, and then I start Googling it, and I realize he's wrong, and he's like, "No, this is it," and I'm like, "No, I said this is Fun Facts with Cyphex." No, the actual answer is, every time we had to call his bluff.
Oh, that's great,
John. If you're watching, we love you, brother. We love you. We love you. I think for me, I remember when I tried to launch my Wonder Duck campaign and it wouldn't launch. Like it just wouldn't go up. We were up there for like almost like an hour and I couldn't get it to go. I couldn't get it up. I'm sorry.
It was live.
It was like a problem.
Listen. You know what I mean.
It's not that kind of show, George.
You know what I mean. Lou, I'm sorry. These guys are children. They're children.
Was that live, George?
Was that?
Was that live?
Yeah.
When you're trying to. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was live. It was live. What was yours, Sam? What was
I've seen so many shows. I've seen so many shows where people have gone to launch and you're just waiting, and then something happens. Like I think Lori Calcaterra had one where she launched something, and then she had to go in and redo all her like extras because nothing was showing up. And she was just sitting there, and everyone was just waiting to press that button, and there's nothing to see. Or just the comic, or if she was lucky. And you know how many extra things that she has?
Yes.
And I felt really bad because there's nothing you can do when you're watching. You're just watching like, I'm still supporting. Yay! We've launched, but she was just sitting looking really shocked, like this has never happened before.
Well, I tell you, Lupons, you should really get some a book on some of your artwork. I got to tell you, the Halloween set you took out last year to me, I would save and actually look at the images together, the colors, the ambiance of each one of them, the subject matter. It's just dope. So I don't know if you've ever thought of it. It really is. You really got to get them together. It is, because they're amazing.
I actually am. I'm considering putting together a book. I keep doing things, and then some things I don't even post online because I think, well, I've got to hold something back for the actual book, you know, otherwise everyone will just pull the stuff from online. But I also I'm working on a script for, like, I suppose you could call it a comic book. I'm trying to make it into a comic book format.
Cool.
And I like it. It's fun. It's based on stuff that's familiar to me, disguised as a lot of other things. But I'm not a writer. But that's one thing that has changed about me, where at one point I was like, well, I'm just not a writer. And now I say I'm not a writer, but I'm going to have a go. So that's the difference with me now. I'm actually having a go because I've heard about so many other people who do art and writing as well. So I'm like, I'm just going to try it.
Yeah. You're a creator who happens to write.
That's right.
That's it. Right. And so I think.
But we'll wait and see about that. You can all be the judge of that one, really.
Yeah. No, we went. We had a couple of times where we were going live and there was a power outage and it just knocked me out. And George was online talking, but I was completely out and I had to reboot my computer because I had a power surge and then to get back online. So that's happened a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, out of Texas, man, you guys have some crazy weather.
The tornadoes are crazy out here.
Yeah, no, it's freaking insane. It's freaking insane.
I don't know what you're talking about. We have the most perfect power grid, apparently. Doesn't need any help.
No, all the money's going on the highways, and that's never-ending construction.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you guys. So, what's the next convention? You guys, Mike, Rob, like, where are you guys going to be next?
We are in November, I think, is the next one. I'm trying to think.
Is it the punk rock?
Down in Vineland?
Yeah, Garden State.
Garden State, yeah.
Garden State in November, and Vineland, and then the punk rock flea market in December.
Yeah.
And then is there something?
I think the next one is Super Jersey.
I'll see you guys there in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. Lou, are you doing any? Are you going to be at any shows? Maybe not vending, but like just are you going to go hang out at any of these conventions?
Well, there's a few times that I've wanted to go and just hang out at them because right now I don't actually have physical kind of product to sell at any of these things. I just do kind of like print on demand stuff if anybody wants that. So it would just be a waste for me to put stuff together now for that. But I did consider going as just an attendee, just to try and catch up with some people. Yeah. The only thing that stops me a lot of the time is I deal with a lot of migraines. And when I say a lot of migraines, I mean about 2 weeks out of the month. So it's not always possible for me to travel. So I've been focused on trying to get through that so that I can get back to a regular kind of schedule. That's part of the reason why I haven't done many lives, and I started doing my own YouTube channel because I figured if I couldn't get to these conventions, I could do my own channel and I could do live drawing and I could get to meet people through that and people could see what I'm doing, maybe get some collaboration going on. But again, I can't be regular because the migraine has been pretty bad. So that's when I came up with my show, just calling it Art O'Clock. So whenever it happened, it would just happen. But I'm trying to get more regular. I mean, I'm here with you good people tonight, so that's like, yes, like, that's a win for me over the migraine. And then also I have this stupid eye disease that I have to deal with. Because I call myself, I'm a visual artist with a visual disability. Woo! Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
I still manage. right? But the thing is that sometimes kind of if I turn up at a place that doesn't really accommodate my eye condition, it can be really uncomfortable for me. Like that's why I'm probably like, I don't know if it looks like really dim in here, really dark, because I just am very picky about I'm very picky about where I am with the lighting and things like that, just for my comfort. So it's getting to the time of year where I can go by the name again, Dracula, where I can be in more darkness and be more comfortable.
Love it.
Then that'll work. But I'm hoping to be online and do more stuff that way, even if I can't get to see people in person for a little bit longer. I'm still going to be doing things and trying to be like engaged with people.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Ed? I know you mentioned the New York Comic Con. Is that the next one?
Yes. No, but I just want to say something about Lou. You know, it's interesting you mentioned all these things that you go through, but yeah, whenever you're on the show, you're such a spark of energy, and I truly look forward to anything you say. So just know that all of us that are listening to you, when you say something, we all, kind of, okay, what's she going to say on here? So we just know that we appreciate it about you, and really wish you the best with your ailments, because it's tough. It's tough. We all do. But know that we're pulling for you, and it's something, especially on the show. You're really special on the show. Just know that.
I appreciate that.
Certainly.
It's because I get it from it's the vibe that I get. There's not every place I could be like this. It's because I'm with the kind of people who allow me to be myself. So I thank all of you guys for allowing me to do that.
Yeah, amen. And that's what George and Sam do. They allow us to do that, to be our nerdy, geeky selves, I'm sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but
right, and we've not been banned yet, so we're doing pretty well, aren't we, Eddie?
Yet.
Mike, what did you say, Mike?
I was saying, like, when you hit when the show starts, that intro is like gets your blood pumping.
Yes, absolutely. It's on. It's great, and I'm grateful that it's on Tuesdays. By the way, too. Like, thank goodness. That's when I need my pick me up. So that always helps too. But yes, George, I planned New York Comic Con, Yonkers.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
September 27th, the one in Yonkers. Yeah, you coming down?
I gotta tell you, of course, to see you and bug you, and while you're looking away, stealing a couple of Wonder Ducks and stuff like that.
That's where that went.
There you go.
Where that went. That's
you're doing the wheel and everything, So
it's like, what's that? What's that over there? Y'all have the wheel there. We'll be spinning some wheels.
Sure.
We'll be spinning some wheels. Yes, come by, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sure. But guys, listen, we're gonna leave it here because I know people have. I want to know what I'm curious. Rob, you got me curious. So we're gonna leave it here, dude. But Sam, we got a show next week, right?
We got a show next week. Who's on the show next week? Let's see.
I know, but listen, guys, I really thank you guys. This was like short notice, and you guys said yes right away to coming on, and really appreciate
awesome.
you coming on and just kind of hanging out, and just shooting the shit. We do want to have you guys individually for whenever you guys. Obviously, I told you, Mike, whenever you guys are ready to promote the next one, just sign up. Ed, obviously, when you're done with yours. Lou, when you're done with that art book, definitely come on. We want to talk to you about your process. I mean, I was watching the live that you did with Sam the other day, and man, your artwork is just.
We're doing part 2, so I'll DM you. Hopefully from Friday night, or we can do something. But
whenever works, I'll be available. Just let me know.
Awesome. So we have Carmen Costa. She is her book is
male. It's a guy. He's got a book called Proctor.
Oh, Carmen.
He was sitting next to you guys at Perfecon.
Oops.
You guys remember him? Carmen?
Yeah.
He was right next to you guys. He had a book called Proctor.
Good.
It's on with the dog, right? The dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy, man. Really
Thank
good
you
dude.
for correcting me.
Yeah, no.
Pickle better be on the show.
Yeah.
We'll let him know. I don't know Pickle.
Cool.
Yeah,
that
cool
kind of
guy.
person you want next to you at a convention.
Yeah.
We've had a couple like really good people that once in a while will get one. We're like, you are not matching our vibe right now. Armin, we were like immediately clicked.
Yeah, good guys. I'm glad. Okay, so he'll be next week. You guys are gonna like that one. His book is called Proctor. It's about a girl who's a witch, and she comes from a line of witches, but she doesn't want to be a witch. She's a teenage girl, wants to just party kind of thing. And he'll tell you the story. It's a really good book. I read the book. It's really, really good. So you guys will enjoy that. He's a good guy too. He's doing really well. He's got a Kickstarter right now, actually. And yeah, he's doing really well with the book. So we'll have him next week. All right, cool. And you guys, like I said, welcome to come whenever you guys want.
Sure. Yeah. So, and thank you everybody who's been around with us for the past. How many years is it? 2005. What? 20 years?
2005, right? 20 years. 20 years of Catch Da Craze.
Put on a great show.
Thank you. Yes, for 20 years, man. Geez, and we've been here for a minute. Thank you all. We do this because of guys and gals like you guys. So thank you all for being with us and sticking around with us and not holding our rap sheets against us. We appreciate that for everybody. But please subscribe if you listen to us on any of the platforms. When we grow, the independent community grows, and we can't do it without you. So, and here's to hopefully another 600 episodes, bro.
Let's go.
Yes, yeah, man. With that said, I am CM the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, it's talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my God.
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.